What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are back again with an Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be a never used tier battle against Mr. Goat, somebody I battled off my Discord. Now, I'd like to address an issue that I've been getting in my comment section recently, and it's the moveset suggestions, okay? Look, I ask on certain videos, like, which movesets you guys want to see me use. Don't comment that shit in every video, okay? If you do that and you're one of those people who go to my videos, see I don't use the Pokemon, copy and paste that comment and then leave, I'm just gonna remove the comment or block you. Like, I'm actually gonna start doing that because it's getting to the point where I went to my YouTube analytics. It says that 30% of my viewers leave before 30 seconds, and that's because, I'm just gonna guess that's because I don't use their movesets, and then they get disappointed and leave. And if you're one of those people, please unsubscribe right now. Just unsubscribe. I won't get mad at you. Go subscribe to Pimp Night. Save your physical Delphox spam and like Eviolite Pupitar spam and your special Arbok spam for Pimp Night's channel. And if you copy and paste your comments on all of my videos, you're gonna get blocked. So hopefully, you know, people learn their lesson. And if they didn't even watch for the first minute of this video, then they deserve to be blocked. So yes, sorry I rambled on there about my issues. It's just that ever since I started accepting moveset suggestions, my comment section has been progressively getting worse and worse. And every day I just get more awful moves. And if they were good movesets, I wouldn't even be that mad about it. But it's just awful, pure. It's time to stop. So I'm being challenged by Mr. Goat today. He's wearing the fuckboy Como outfit, of course. If you wear the Como outfit, by the way, you're a fuckboy. No ifs or buts about it. You are just a fuckboy, and that you have to accept that fate. Unless you change out of your outfit, then you have a chance of redemption, but otherwise, you are a fuckboy. So I'm gonna lead off with my Malamar, go for Taunt against the Steelix, prevent Stealth Rocks, which is very good for me because not only have I not brought Stealth Rocks, I don't have any hazard control. So my opponent does recognize that, which is why he let off with the Steelix. Fair enough, fair enough. I'm gonna set up a Reflect here because I'm actually a dual screen Malamar. I'm actually using a supportive Malamar set today. Not really a moveset I've used before, you know, besides double battling, but I figure it can do decently well in singles format because Topsy-Turvy is a move no one really anticipates and it can catch people off guard. So I'm hoping that is what happens here. So my opponent's going to bring in Incineroar here. I'm going to go for a light screen, and I was tempted to stay in here to scout out the Incineroar's moveset. He could be like a bulk up flame charge, like power trip set, like the one I like to run. But I'm still going to just play it safe and bring in my Grape Jelly, my Jellicent. And this is actually really aggressive because he could just go for a knockoff. My opponent reveals he's actually a U-turn Incineroar, so I'm glad I did bring in the Jellicent because I could have brought in on a knockoff and taken a lot of damage, but
yeah, there it is! Shiny Sneasel, baby! Let's go!
I guess you didn't want to go for a knockoff there, surprisingly enough, even though I have no dark resistance besides Liepard, so it's kind of surprising. But now he's going to bring in a Sneasel, go for the Banded knockoff, and that's going to bring me down to 22 health, but we're able to live and activate our weakness policy. So we have +2 special attack now, and I'm able to go for the Hydro Pump and just demolish Weedle's voice. So down goes the Sneasel, down this monster goes. And yeah, I'm very glad that Pokemon's dead because Sneasel gave my team a lot of issues. Now in comes the Incineroar yet again, and unfortunately I do have Trick Room on my Jellicent. It's just that he also has Slowbro and Steelix, both which outslow my Jellicent under Trick Room, even though I do have 0 speed IVs, so it's rather unlucky, but I can't do much about that. Didn't really set up Jellicent accordingly, so I just played Jellicent pretty badly. But now I'm gonna bring in Just a Prank, my Liepard. Now I'm gonna go for the Trick.
Surprise,
and you guys may be confused, like, how are you able to prankster trick a Dark type? And it's because I have Limber as my ability, because the idea of this Liepard moveset is to bait in Dark types, because Dark types are immune to prankster moves, but since the Dark types are going to try to pivot into your prankster moves, you can surprise them with the, you know, the Limber trick and give them the rain target, which is going to help one of my teammates in the future of this battle. Spoiler. So now in comes Hitmontop, and I was just going to sack off my Liepard here, but I decided to go for U-turn because preserving my Liepard as Death Flutter can be pretty handy, and I'm able to scout out which item the Hitmontop is running if I'm able to damage it. So now I'm going to bring in my Pinsir here to, you know, pivot into close combat. My opponent chooses to go for Toxic instead, which wasn't what I was anticipating, but I guess he does nail my Pinsir on the switch in, and now I can't really set up on this thing. I do have Sword Stance on my Pinsir, but I mean, considering he has like Garbodor, Steelix, and Intimidate Hitmontop, this Pinsir isn't looking all that useful in this game, that's for sure. So I'm actually going to pull a switch here and bring in my Andy here, my Malamar, anticipating my opponent to want to go for pretty much anything. I just want to scout out what he's going to bring in here. And my opponent's going to bring in the Steelix here, so I'm actually able to bring in Malamar in against the Steelix. Now I can taunt this thing. My Reflect does wear off, so I'm able to bring in Malamar. The turn screens wear off. That was the other reason why I brought it in, because I want to set up my screens because they are wearing off this turn. So I'm able to prevent Stealth Rocks yet again, which is very nice for my team because my Sigilyph is not Magic Guard. It is actually Tinted Lens, so I don't want Stealth Rocks being up because my Sigilyph will take Stealth Rock damage. So now I actually misclick on Liepard. I was trying to check its summary because I forgot which item I actually got from Switcheroo or Trick, but I, ended up clicking Switch in. Oops. So I just pretty much sack my Liepard and then bring back in Malamar. So my opponent's probably so confused, like, why did he even do that? And I tried to, I said it was a misclick, but it's kind of hard to believe that I was a misclick, even though I kind of sent in Liepard for no reason. So it definitely was a misclick. You can't really deny that. But yeah, I'm gonna go for Reflect. Earthquake's gonna do 0 damage thanks to Reflect. Kind of surprising he stayed in there. I thought he'd take advantage of the fact I'm trying to set up screens, but it's still worth it. I need to set up these screens as fast as possible. My opponent's gonna bring in To the Ring, which is pretty funny. I just realized that his nickname is To the Ring, and I tricked that thing a ring target. So quite a coincidence there that he happens to have Ring in his nickname, and I tricked him a ring target. It's just like a coincidence I didn't realize until just now. But now I'm gonna switch into Cappuccino here, expecting knockoff or U-turn. My Chinchino, and if he does just go for Flare Blitz or something, Chinchino is actually worthless in this game because he has a Steelix, which makes Chinchino look like fodder. He has Garbodor, which probably has Rocky Helmet plus Aftermath, and I literally can't do anything with my Chinchino in this battle. So I'm gonna go for Rock Blast here just to play it safe, but he just makes the right play, bringing in Steelix, as Rock Blast is gonna do very little damage, and he's probably just gonna get his health back from leftovers. But it ends up that he doesn't even have leftovers. He actually has Rocky Helmet on this Steelix, so if I went for Tail Slap there, I would have killed myself, which is pretty funny. I'm gonna bring in Illuminati here, my Sigilyph here, predicting Stealth Rocks because, like I said, I'm not Magic Guard. I'm actually Tinted Lens Sigilyph because Tinted Lens is a pretty underrated ability, and Sigilyph is one of those Pokemon you forget gets Tinted Lens, so I wanted to see how well I can make Tinted Lens Sigilyph work. So my opponent's going to bring in Incineroar here as I choose to go for Calm Mind, and I should be able to set up a Calm Mind against my opponent, and I'm like, okay, I do have Reflect up. I know Incineroar is pretty powerful, but Sigilyph's base bulk is okay, so I don't know if I can take a knockoff or not. My opponent reveals to be a Fake Out set, so kind of surprising. You don't really see Incineroar with Fake Out in single format. Gonna go for a second Calm Mind just because I'm a little greedy bitch, and instead of going for Air Slash, I just go for Calm Mind again because I don't want to risk Air Slash punching him on the last turn of Reflect being up. My opponent's gonna go for the knockoff here, hit my Sigilyph for decent damage, but we're able to activate our weakness policy. So we're actually weakness policy Tinted Lens Sigilyph with stored power, and the reason why I tricked the Incineroar ring target is so I can store power this guy and delete him from the game. So this dark type is going to get destroyed by stored power, and down goes the Incineroar, which is pretty good for me. My opponent's going to bring in Suck My Steel here, the Steelix, and I have Tinted Lens, and I'm at +4 special attack, +2 attack, and +2 speed def. So I have 8 stat changes. That is 180 base power, stored power. Tinted Lens makes that so powerful. Even if you resist it, you're still taking so much damage. In comes Slowbro, Weedle fans. My opponent's nicknames are so original and funny. I'm gonna go for stored power and just one-shot Weedle's fans. I can agree with that nickname because my comment section late with these movesets, wow, actually, I can't even get mad at my opponent for saying that because he must have been acknowledging my comment section too, because wow, my comment section lately with those movesets are interesting to say the least. But this Sigilyph looks like it's just gonna pop off and deal with the rest of my opponent's team. You can call this a one-sided battle, but I feel like if I didn't get the Sigilyph setup off, I would have automatically lost the game because this is my only way of breaking through Steelix, Garbodor, Hitmontop. The rest of my team are physical attackers, all very weak as well, so this was literally my only win con. If I didn't get this off, I would have lost the game in the end. So may look like a one-sided battle, but it was a lot closer than it looks. And yeah, we're gonna win the battle with a 4-0 victory. A little bit one-sided looking like I said, but it was still a very good Wi-Fi battle. But worry not, ladies and gents, we have a second battle for you guys today. Yes. This one's going to be against Sabrina, another person I battle off Discord, using the same team as I used in the previous battle. Of course, I don't really switch teams in between battles. No point really. I'll just deal with the weaknesses it has. My opponent's team is a little bit more threatening than my last opponent. He has Sneasel again, which gives my team a lot of issues. Delphox literally destroys my team single-handedly, and Venusaur is looking like a big threat threat as well. But let's just hop right into this battle. Thankfully, my opponent doesn't have a Steelix, so hopefully Cinccino can do something in this battle, because it's actually a pretty fun Cinccino set, which you guys are not going to anticipate unless you are following me on Twitter, where I kind of gave some spoilers to this battle. No, like, you know, game-changing spoilers, but I do acknowledge which Cinccino set I'm using. So I ended up with my Malamar again because I don't want Stealth Rex being set up yet again, because if Sigilyph does take Stealth Rex damage, it's not really that great. If Pinsir takes Stealth Rex damage, it's not really that great either, and I feel like both those Pokemon are going to be very valuable in this battle. So we're able to taunt the Palossand, prevent Stealth Rocks, which is very good for us. And this background looks so cool. Man, the orange sky looks so pretty. My opponent's going to go for the Shadow Ball against Malamar. I go for Light Screen because I feel like Light Screen in this battle is a little more important than Reflect. But I honestly just went for Light Screen because the special attacker was in front of me instead of a physical attacker. My opponent's going to bring in the Thick Mama here, the Hariyama. Quite an interesting name for Hariyama, as I'm just going to choose to go for Reflect here. No reason not to. And if Hariyama is like a bulk up variant, I can just go for Topsy Turvy against that thing and just completely like cock block it. And even if he's substitute, I'm also Infiltrator as well. So if he's like sub bulk up, I don't have to worry about that. I'm gonna bring in my Sigilyph if you're expecting close combat. My opponent goes for knockoff, predicting my switch, but it's actually bad for him because we're able to activate our weakness policy. And my opponent's like, oh shit, man, I'm gonna get destroyed by this psychic type attacks. My opponent's gonna think he can pivot into Delphox, expecting psychics. Like, yeah, this is gonna do like 60%, no problem. But with Tinted Lens, even though Delphox resists it, it just dies. So that's the power of Tinted Lens Sigilyph just from weakness policy proc alone. Stored power is able to destroy a resisted hit with the resisted hit against Delphox. That's pretty impressive. And now my opponent's going to bring in Sneasel and Revenge kill me with Ice Little Crash, unfortunately. So Sigilyph isn't able to solo this game, but it still popped off in the last battle, so I can't complain. Down goes Illuminati, as now I'm able to bring in Cappuccino, my Cinccino, and I should be able to potentially tank one attack from Sneasel, and if we're able to knock out Sneasel, that's very good for me. My opponent's going to bring in the Palossand again, as I'm actually going to go for my Z move here. I'm actually a Z move Cinccino. You guys may be wondering, why are you running a Z move on Cinccino? Shouldn't you run like Life Orb or Choice Band? But it's because I'm Z Laser Focus. Now what Laser Focus does is it guarantees your next move is going to critical hit, but it actually works with Skill Link, and so basically I can go for Bullet Seed here and every single hit's going to critical hit. And I was tempted to run Technician on this set just in case, you know, I can get the Technician critical hit boosted, you know, attack, but I'm not guaranteed 5 hits. So I'm guaranteed 5 crits with the Z Laser Focus, and your attack stat is raised by 1 stage. So in comes Hariyama, thinking my opponent thinks she can pivot into Bullet Seed, but not what every Bullet Seed is going to crit you at +1 attack. So Bullet Seed, Thick Mama is pretty thick, right? But it's not thick enough to take 5 crit Bullet Seeds. And yeah, down goes Hariyama to the Bullet Seed spam. So that was a pretty cool showcasing of Laser Focus Cinccino. It was unfortunate I couldn't do much with it in the last battle, but it's because I was facing Steelix and Garbodor, so it's definitely matchup reliant, that's for sure. I'm gonna go for Tail Slap here with my Cinccino. I'm at +1 attack. We don't crit this time because Laser Focus only works for the next turn, but yeah, +1 attack Venusaur is gonna go down, and yeah, I wasn't expecting that to happen, but I'm definitely underestimating Cinccino. My opponent's gonna bring in I almost said Pomegranate. Pomegranate. No, it's Palogranate. I don't know why I said Pomegranate. I know Pomegranate's a fruit, so that's why I said it, but it's just the first thing that popped in my mind when I saw that nickname. My opponent's gonna go for Earth Power. We're able to tank it reasonably well. We're able to go for Laser Focus again, and now I can go for the Bullet Seed, which is guaranteed 5 crits, so I'm gonna get those 5 crits yet again. I mean, I'm pretty sure 2 attacks do more than 1 crit attack from Skill Link, but it's still like a fun idea because you're able to get 5 crits in a row, which is hilarious. I just think that's so amusing. I don't know why. I thought it only worked on like 1 of them, but I guess it works on all 5, so I shouldn't be too surprised. You can also go for a Laser Focus into the normal Z move for a crit like attack, but I'm pretty sure Z Laser Focus and Tail Slap does more damage anyway because it's 5 hits, 25 base power, and each of them crit. So I don't really know the exact damage output of that move, but it's pretty powerful for a little Cinccino. My opponent's gonna bring in the Sneasel here, go for a Banded Ice Shard from the looks of it, and knock out my Cinccino. Down goes Cappuccino, but we got 2 kills with the, or 3 kills actually, with the Cinccino, so I can't complain. In comes Andy here, the Malamar, and my opponent's going to be fearful of the superpower, I guess, even though I'm not superpower, I'm a Malamar, I'm actually dual screens. In comes the Arceus stats, nice Verilify reference, I can respect that. Gonna go for Reflect here, no reason not to, because the Sneasel is the only offensive threat left on my opponent's team, and that thing can still destroy me because Banded Sneasel is a threat. That's for sure. Bandit Sneasel is not to be trifled with because that Pokemon hits super hard. I kind of like made fun of it, but like back then I was like, yeah, Sneasel is not an S rank worthy Pokemon, but after looking at it again, I'm just like, damn, there's not really that many switch-ins to knock off, to be honest with you. Not like a really strong knockoff like Sneasel, so gotta be cautious of that. My opponent's gonna bring in the Sneasel again, expecting the Prankster attack, but I'm not Prankster, I'm Limber, so gonna try to bring in the Sneasel against, or he tried to, maybe he predicted Prankster Encore, that's probably what he predicted, but I'm not Prankster, I'm freaking Limber. Don't ask me why I'm Limber, I actually explained it, but it's so I can trick dark types and, you know, affect them with status moves, which I normally wouldn't be able to with Prankster, so that's the whole idea behind not running Prankster on Liepard. So Ice-Slow Crash is not going to knock me out because we did take away his Choice Band, which is very good for me, and now I'm going to go for Sucker Punch. He does have the range targets, and now I can hit him with a Psychic type attack. Not that that really matters because my Sigilyph is dead, but I just went for the trick anyway, just so I can lower this Sneasel's power. And I don't have knockoff in my Liepard just so I don't accidentally knock off a ring target, because that'd be pretty embarrassing if I did that, so I didn't even give myself a chance to do that. I just like, no, I'm not running knockoff on this Liepard, I'm just gonna give it Sucker Punch instead, which is definitely the better call. But now I bring in the true meme of this game, Metronome Fury Cutter Pinsir. Metronome Fury Cutter Pinsir. And yes, with Metronome and Fury Cutter gets more powerful the more times it hits successfully. This is one of Relisify's favorite moves besides Minimize, so I decided to make a set, you know, dedicated after Relisify. And yeah, Fury Cutter with Metronome is able to knock out the Silvally after 3 hits. I think Fury Cutter after 3 hits becomes, I actually don't know the base power of it. I think it's 140. No. I could be wrong though. I think it's more powerful than that. But in comes Sneasel. We got a Moxie boost. We hit 3 times in a row. Metronome hit 3 times in a row. So now we're gonna go for a 1.4 times like 140 base power attack. And yeah, down. No, it's actually 160 base power. My bad. 160 base power, not 140. They were able to win the battle with a 3-0 victory, I do believe, by the end of the battle. And it was still a pretty fun Wi-Fi battle. We got to showcase pretty much every set on my team for the most part, besides Weakness Policy Jellicent. Though I'm sure I'll use that Pokemon more in the future because I feel like that Pokemon in particular is very easy to prog Weakness Policy on. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Wi-Fi battle against, you know, our girl Sabrina and her homeboy Mr. Goat. If you guys enjoyed these Wi-Fi battles and really want to support my channel, let me know by leaving a like on the video, as it keeps me motivated to put out these uploads for you guys, and it really helps on my channel a lot more than you think, and it's always appreciated. Anyways, the question of the day is going to be, which game mechanic do you guys think they should bring back in future Pokemon installments? Let me know in the comments down below if you guys want to see any certain game mechanics from previous Pokemon games brought back in future Pokemon games. Now, me personally, I'd really like to see Horde battling brought back in future Pokemon games because it made EV training so much easier. And I'm not saying SOS EV training is difficult, it's just it's a lot more difficult to keep track of the effort values you obtain. I mean, I think Horde battling was super easy. You got 5 Hordes, and it was 250 EVs, and then you battled 1 more Pokemon for the last 2, and that was it. And it was a lot easier to keep track of effort values, but now when I EV train, it's just like so much more difficult. I gotta like keep track of a multiplier, gotta use a calculator and shit, and it's just like, ugh, I don't like that very much. It's just, so it was definitely a step backwards from, you know, convenient EV training, that's for sure. You can definitely EV train fast with SOS battling, it's just that Horde battling was a lot more convenient and easier to do, in my personal opinion. I also think they should bring back Dex Naving. They don't have to bring back like Dex Naving, like copy and pasted, but I think they should bring back a mechanic similar to that where you can search for Pokemon with like hidden abilities, you know, egg moves and stuff, because it made breeding so much easier back then. And I still use Auras to get hidden ability Pokemon up to this day because it's just such a convenient thing to do. And whenever I played through Auras, like a few times I have, Dex Nav is just such a cool thing to mess around with because you can just get such unique Pokemon with egg moves, with items. You can see what items they're holding, and you can see like their like good IVs or not. I just like really like that aspect of Auras, and I really hope they bring it back in the future Pokemon installment because I really miss Dex Naving so much. It was like my favorite way of like hunting Pokemon in general because you can just get such good moves, and yeah, I don't know, it's just something they need to bring back in the future, that's for sure. But I'm rambling at this point. I hope you guys enjoyed the Wi-Fi battle. Let me know in the comments down below which game mechanic you would like to see be brought back in future Pokemon installments. But of course, thank you guys so much for watching till the end of the video. I'll check you guys next time. Bye.